have took those risks. Cold blood in my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rise. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
Rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the light won't scare us falling. So rise up. I'm too great to be landed. Rise up.
Yeah,
Way too great to be standing.
going on, everybody? Another week, the W Number Podcast. All my people that's showing up already, how you guys doing this week? I'm really happy to tell you guys that I'm at 2,331 subscribers right now. One of my videos is going over 9,000, and we're on the move, bro. Things are turning up for us. You know, they're looking good. I got some crazy information. I looked into the Correctional Officers Union and how they negotiate their own salaries and like what their salaries really are and how much they're really getting paid. And it blew my mind. I'm like, are you shitting me, dude? These dudes are walking out with almost $500,000 a year. And I got the exact details too. Who made it, what they made, all that shit. So how you guys doing tonight? Bats, John, Lewis, everybody that's in here. It's been a crazy week, you know. Every single week we're just grinding, trying to make things happen. But tonight we're gonna talk about some things that I found out about the Correctional Officers Union. So let me just start off real quick and tell you just who made what and how much they made, right? Just kick it off, dude. Fuck it. Why wait, right? The average annual salary for a correctional officer in Massachusetts is approximately $91,468, right? In 2022, this dude, Johansson, his name's not right here, so I'll tell you his name in a second, but he made $313,000. This dude walked out of there with $313,000 after that year, largely attributed to overtime. So there's a couple of different factors that are involved in this. And let me know what you guys think about this, because I think it's pretty crazy that they're allowing people to work so much overtime. They're going in there grumpy, pissed off, you know, lack of sleep, probably not eating right, because if you're not sleeping right, you're not eating right, you're not living right. And then you're taking it out on the people that are in there, or you're missing things that could possibly, you know, cause people their lives or injuries or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's their job, you know, that's what they're supposed to do. But so there was the highest in 2023, the highest salary at the Department of Corrections was $325,562. Imagine that. I remember looking out my window from the hole and seeing Mendon's out there driving a friggin' red convertible. And I was like, damn, this dude is balling, huh? He shows up in that year was like 2012. It was like a 2012 Honda convertible. And I was like, damn, that shit's fucking dope, right? But so that means that they make about $132 an hour, right? So this dude he worked 2,080 hours of regular, you know, scheduled work hours, right? And then 1,040 hours of overtime. So that means that this dude's probably working at least 20 hours of overtime every single week. That's like, you know, your 8-hour shift, then another 8-hour shift. There's more than that, because these dudes sometimes work 3 overtime shifts. Like they'll go home for 1 shift, come back for 2, go home for 1 shift, come back for 2, come home, you know what I mean? And it just builds up and they keep on doing it and doing it. But I was like, you know, how are these dudes making this much money? Like who makes it so that they make this much money? Who like doles this money out? And you know, why, right? So I looked up how they negotiate their own salaries, right? So basically the Correctional Officers Union is one of the most powerful unions in Massachusetts. Massachusetts has one of the most powerful correctional officer unions in the country. And you could tell this just by their salaries alone, because in every single state, it's pretty much the same. But what they have to do, just the salary, this brought up other things, right? So the election, they can push an election, right? They can get funds because their union is so strong, right? I'm gonna get into that shit too. So they bully themselves around, they push their way around, right? You know, I've looked up positive impacts, negative impacts, things like that, community concerns, all that shit, but potential solutions and shit like that with transparent budgeting and shit. Like, yeah, right. So the Correctional Officers Union, they negotiate through these things called collective bargaining agreements on behalf of their own. So they have like a board that goes up and they argue for them as a union representative. So these agreements determine base salaries, overtime policies, hazard pay, and other benefits. Strong unions can negotiate favorable terms, right? Particularly in states with powerful labor movements. In Massachusetts, the Correctional Officers Union is particularly influential in shaping compensation. They approve, so the governor and legislature approve budgets for the Department of Corrections, including funds for salaries and overtime. And those people, the governor and the legislature, they prioritize these funds over every other fund in the state, because if they have the correctional officers on their side coming to an election, they have a huge block of people throughout the state that are going to vote for them. And if they're voting for them, then every correctional officer in the state is going to vote for them if they're offering, perks to whatever they're doing. Like they'll send mad money at them. Like it's crazy. So I'm having like brain fire right now. Like the words. It's been a long ass week, but how's everybody doing, man? By the way, what's going on out there? Cat scotchy tongue. Anyways, right? So, what is the deal, dudes? Guys just don't want to get in the chat or something. So certain regulations, the DOC, the regulations implement specific regulations to facilitate these programs, right? 103 CMR 465 governs education and training release programs permitted to eligible inmates to participate in external education and training opportunities. And 103 CMR 464 addresses employment programs outside correctional institutions, such as work release initiatives. The DOC offers a range of programs, including, this is bullshit, right? If you go out into like the visiting room, right, your people will come in to visit you and they see these things on the wall. Like they have everything, like to nail technicians, hair tech, like hair, barber, all these different things, right? Car, fixing cars, fucking buildings, whatever the fuck it is, right? They have all these different things. My mom used to come in there and be like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And I'd be like, doing what? Like, they don't offer that shit in here. And they don't. And it's the truth. Like, I wasn't just copping on. Like, they really don't offer it. And the way the programs work is they give people priority in the facility. So if you're not going home within 3 months, you're not even going to be looked at. Like, and it takes a long time. So when you first get into the building, you go into booking, they're going to have a couple people come down and see you. It's going to be Spectrum and mental health and medical. Spectrum is going to be the programs, right? They're going to give you a packet and ask you all these things that make you think that they're trying to, categorize you into a particular corner of criminality, right? So you answer everything like, no, I don't do that. I'm not an angry person. I don't do drugs. But after you do this, you don't realize it because they don't tell you that you just check yourself off of every program list because you lied about your anger and your drug use or whatever it is that you lied about, because you don't want to have it on paper that you're so angry that you could explode at any second. Like they ask you these crazy things like if you saw $100 bill on the ground, would you pick it up and keep it, or would you give it to somebody if you saw him drop it or something? Like it's just like weird questions, and you're just like, you go with the obvious answer that they want to hear, like that you think they want to hear, but really at the end of the day, it's just you're fucking yourself, because now you just really check yourself off all these boxes of programs. So when you get into the facility and you start requesting programs, they'll say you're not eligible for anger management, like they did with me. They told me I'm not eligible for anger management. Like I was in a fight at least once a month my whole entire bid. Like, how am I not eligible for anger management? That shit's ridiculous, dude. It just sounds stupid. But yeah, that's how it works. So, and then if you want to get into a re-entry program, it's like, good luck, bro. You got 18 months. And then when you get to the 18-month mark, you got other people going home within 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, and they all go before you. So you'll be lucky if you even make it down there within a month of you going home. And if you're like me and you did so much time, like 17 years or whatever, then by the time you get down there, you have so much things that try to fix and correct in yourself. Like, it's impossible. And the only way they could do that for you is if they bring you to a medium and let you sit down there in a less hostile environment for at least a year, maybe even longer, right? But that's all like shit that, they know that shit. You know what I mean? They know that. But they're not going to fix it because they there's no incentive, right? They have incentives to make the facility wicked crazy. And that's why this is so important, right? Their budget is because they make the facility hostile so that they can complain to the public, so that they will complain to, they can justify these large funds coming in from the legislature and the government, because it just makes it easier. They could be like, look, they're animals. We need money for more staffing. We need money to protect our staff. We need money to stop the drugs in here. We need money to do this and that. But then they get the money and this shit's still happening. And all they do is like lock us in a cell for longer and give us less stuff. And that doesn't cost a fucking thing. So like they really just get off and they keep this money. They don't even buy us new basketballs all the time. We'll have like crusty old basketballs that have no air in them and shit. Like they don't do nothing for us, right? This money is not going to us or to help the facility or to do what they're even saying that they're going to do. Like when they created the super max end on the prison, right? They flipped the whole prison around. The north side was just another maximum security facility, like on the north side. And then the south side was the same thing, was just maximum security, but on the south side. So when they flipped the prison around, they made the super max on the north side. They turned it into a place where you only get bobos. You don't get your sneakers. You get no electronics other than your tablet. Then you get a limited amount of books. You get a limited amount of clothing. You can't have certain clothing. It's like the whole. And they can keep you down there for so long because they don't consider it the whole. They consider it population, just a super max population block. But you have no TVs, like you're really gonna be in there locked in yourself for 22 hours a day, 22 and a half hours a day, sorry. And sometimes even longer, because they'll come around with your rec like at fucking butt crack at dawn in the morning. And if you're in a unit like that, it's just like you don't want to wake up at all. Like, why the fuck do I want to get up right now and go out there and walk around with you and the 2 other people on your rec, because you come out with 4 people at a time? And sometimes those other people ain't coming out either. So you might be out there all by yourself, just sitting there looking at a unit, like just looking at the fucking shower, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to fucking do there. They don't provide nothing for us to, and not even just entertain it. What's up, Rob? What's up, Bobby? Yeah, so there's so many different things that they do. So then they got the south side. They made the south side the so-called regular max, but it's got even less privileges still. Like, after COVID happened, they used that as an excuse to be able to, keep all these things that they had implemented in the first place, like less canteen and less rec time, less people out at a time, all these different things that they were doing. They kind of just still left some of that shit in place. And that wasn't supposed to stay like that. That was just supposed to be during COVID so they could prevent certain things. Why they cut our canteen from $90 a week to $30 a week during COVID. They said it was, I don't even know what they said it was for, but they said it was for us, right? Something to protect us from something. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to protect us. They were just, that seems like they would be losing money to me. Like, but I think it was just to stop us from buying K2 or something while we were locked in, maybe prevent so many code 99s or something. I don't know. But that shit was going crazy up there. You had so many code 99s and people going out on stretchers like every 10 minutes. And that's what made it so hot. And that's why they changed the mail system. But the accountability of their salaries, right? Like who's paying them? Who's keeping track of all their overtime? How do we know they're not just logging overtime and not even working that shit, right? They have their own people doing this. So it's ultimately the combination of union negotiations, state government decisions, DOC management, and public pressures determines correctional officer pay. So that you hear that, right? Combination of union negotiations, state government decisions, DOC management, and public pressure. So that's what they do. They put pressure on the public. They say, we need more. We need more. Look what's going on here. So when these things start happening inside the prison, things start heating up. There's more violence and things are popping off all of a sudden. And everybody's like, why is this happening? Right? Because they're starting to do things inside the prison to needle us and make us feel like we have no security in our property and no way to get our grievances through, no way to, get problems fixed, there's problems solved, and they leave only one solution, which is violence. And so when people actually go and do that shit, it's like, there's no surprise with us, no surprise with the COs, but they go out there and act all shocked and shit, and then they preach to the public and shit, and it's like, I get it. They don't want this to happen to them. I don't think that they do, but they don't really have much control over it because the administration is telling them what to do at the same time. Like so some COs, they come into work and they don't want to be telling you like, look, you got to take that line down. You can't have your laundry up right now. You got to take that out of the window. Like some of them really don't want to do that. They just like, they'll come in and do a half-ass like, yo, they're going to come around. Maybe I think the lieutenant or something. Can you just take that down? Blah, blah, blah. And you out of respect for certain COs and shit, you do that, right? You just take it down because, why fuck with the only ones that are all right, So you do it. But then there's those COs that come around and they're like, take that fucking shit down, fucking scum. You know what I mean? Like they just take too much pleasure in their job. You know what I mean? Anybody who takes that much joy out of like denying you an extra tray while you're in the hole or denying you a roll of toilet paper, to me, you can't trust a motherfucker like that. What is their motives? What is their motivation? Why are they so angry at us? You know what I mean? Like there's got to be something else. Like they were bullied in high school, dunked in the fucking toilet head first. I don't know what it is, but there's so many different aspects to these situations that like the salary, it stems to all these spider webs, to all these different things, like the environment inside, the public opinion, public pressure, what kind of agenda they're trying to push, how much money they're going to pull in, all basically revolves around this this cycle of salary negotiation in how much they're making. And for a CO to make $313,000 a year seems like I'm not the type to be hating on people and stuff like that, but $313,000 a year, or even $100, it's $100 and like something change of an hour. Like, what do you do every hour that's worth $100 and something and change? They got people in other prisons in this country working in private prisons for dirt cheap. And I mean, those they run, yeah, they're more violent, but they run. And the way I see it is, that they can take less and still be comfortable in their life. And the taxpayers don't need to be lied to in order to get all that shit done, right? Or they shouldn't be able to be lied to. There should be a transparent system so people can know exactly what's going on inside there, so they know when they're being lied to, or they know when there's things that are being kind of pushed and why are they being pushed. people don't question it enough. That's the thing. It's like, you think Charlie Baker gives a flying fuck about the COs? No, he doesn't care. But he knows that if he doesn't keep the same tune as them, and they're friggin' you know, when they're like how they're speaking, like the terms that they're using, like, oh, you know, the COs, you know, cons are gonna get beat up, but they're lying. We have money for that. That's what the COs are saying. So he's saying it too because he needs them on his side come election time. So if he can keep them all on his side and make them all truly believe that he's one of them, he's with them. He is with them, honestly, because that's what he's doing. That's the side he's choosing. And that's what he's choosing to back. But instead of, taking an even, not a non-biased stance in it, which is what he should have been doing as our governor, to make sure that all fairness is being served, then he shouldn't have been taking either side, right? An election should happen, whatever the result of it shouldn't be because you're trying to sway opinions, bro. It shouldn't be because you have an agenda to get these people on your side. So you'll say whatever it is or do whatever it is that they want you to do because they are the largest voting bloc in Massachusetts. So we need them. We're going to do whatever to appease them. Doesn't matter what's happening to these people, because during the time that he said that, people were literally getting brutalized. There was over 40 people on their knees in the visiting room and in the gym from 8 hours or whatever in their underwear. They couldn't move, they couldn't speak, they couldn't do anything, and anything outside of the lines of on your knees, hands cuffed behind your back, legs shackled, in your underwear, looking straight ahead, no talking. Anything like this, any kind of face, anything. And then they're dragging you in the visiting room and beating the lawyer's visiting room and beating the brakes off you. For Charlie Baker to get up there and be like, oh, they're lying. They turned every camera in the facility off. Why would they need to do that unless something bad was happening? We don't control the cameras, so we didn't turn them off to make it at them. But everybody still in the facility was somebody that did not participate in the assaults or in those incidents. And you got people in there that are truly trying to go to mediums and truly trying to do the right thing in order to get to a lower security facility and, maybe change their life around. And then these dudes come in and fucking trash your whole bid because they're pissed off that they caused the craziest thing that they could have possibly caused. But you can't say racial slurs to convicts. I'm sorry, bro. You call someone a spit, I'm sorry. I'm not saying it like that. Like, I have mad Spanish friends. I'm just saying, right? This dude called the dude a spick, bro. You can't do that, bro. Or else, you know what's going to happen after that, or you should be able to know. If you don't know, you need a reality check, and that's what you got, bro, right? I do not feel bad for that dude, Fuller. That's who did it, bro. He had an attitude of arrogance, disrespect, superiority in such a way that he would literally shit on anybody. Even the other COs that were with him kind of thought it was fucking, crazy. Like, why would anybody talk like that? You're trying to prove something. Like, you got something that you're trying to show off. Like, you got all these guys on your back, and that if anybody does anything to you, they're going to get time. We're not coming at you off rip. We're not bringing it to you, which is something I can understand. If one of the convicts was, came out aggressive and started being aggressive towards that CO, they have a right to get aggressive back. But to be outwardly aggressive all the time towards people who are not showing you any type of disrespect or aggression, it's not right. It shouldn't be able to continue to happen for a year or 2 years at a time. They knew that shit. They had chances and chances to change that dude out of there. They took him from a medium security, not just a medium, any old medium. It was Gardner, which is like one of the softest mediums in the state, with a bunch of, SOs there, right? They got a bunch of petties and SOs there. So they treat those guys like trash, and they don't do nothing about it. So they come up to the max, and they got a whole different atmosphere, right? These dudes, he got his head pumped up down there the way he treated people and got away with it all that time. And they made him the head of the most aggressive, or the so-called most aggressive block in the facility. They had to have known that that wasn't a great idea. And they took, the thing on the flip side is they took 2 guys out of there that had things on smash. We didn't have a problem in that unit for years until this situation happened. Now, they see everything starting to happen. So the first thing that happened is they put Gil in property. He starts taking every single thing he possibly can, right? Setting people up to get things taken. So when you come into the facility, if he wants to take it, he won't mark it down on your property sheet. So that way he can come through and be like, that's not yours. It's not on your property list. And you're not on your inventory sheet. And take it, right? So you have no property security. If it has any type of scratch on the screen, scratch on the back, your people could just have spent hundreds of dollars on these things, right? It's not your money. It's your family who works really hard for that money, sending you money to the facility so that you can live a quasi-decent life. And now 1 in every single 5 families in this entire country has 1 person out of their immediate family that is incarcerated, been incarcerated, or directly affected by incarceration. 1 in every 5 families. That is way too many people, bro. How many families are in this country? And that is a legit statistic. So there's literally 2,330,000, I think it was, that I read, people, but there's over 10 million a year cycling through. So 10 million hit the facility. It's only 2 million and some change who stay there. Those numbers lie to you, bro. 10 million people get locked up every year, right? Things that you could completely just write off as things that you don't need to lock somebody up for. You don't need to lock somebody up for a probation violation to protect the community, bro. If this dude gets a dirty urine, he doesn't need to go to jail. He needs to go to a freaking treatment facility. And if you go to jail waiting for a treatment facility, it takes you way longer. And then you're likely to get into a shitty place. When you get there, you're in a shitty attitude. And who knows what's going to happen. It's just, there's so many. And then you're thinking like, oh, I'm just going to go back. And what prison has done to me, and I can tell you right now, right? This month is one of the worst months for me out of every year of my entire life, November. I've always caught all my time in November. Every time I get in trouble and catch a crime that's sentenced, November, right? So there's something with November. I'm not making it through, right? I haven't had a holidays on the streets in more than 19 years. This year will be my 19th year, and I'm going to spend it with my family. That right there to me is probably the most important thing that I can't even express to you the feeling that I have to be able to do that. Last year, I lost that ability because I got a dirty urine. After a year of being out, I got one dirty urine after I went through a breakup with a girl. I got high one fucking time. And I went to the hospital and took the urine there. And the hospital gave the urine to my probation officer, who then locked me up as soon as I left that hospital. So that did not need to happen. Was that worth me spending the 18th year away from my family for the holidays? Coming from me, I don't fucking think that shit should fly, right? What's up, bro? What's up, Bad Chad Shit Show? I like that name. But there's just so many different reasons why that's not right? First of all, you got all these different people locked up during the holidays that don't need to be locked up. There's people right now in the max that would literally give their feet. They would cut their feet off to be able to leave right now. So to sit here and act ungrateful for even the meager things that I do have at this point in time would be a direct smack in the face to everything I've gone through. So yes, I am grateful for every little thing that I can get myself out here. And all the hard work that I put in order to reach that point in my life, that right there is just part of the game, dude, right? I respect myself more every time I do something that's worth respect, right? And then, you build that shit. That's self-confidence. That's self-esteem. That's the things that keep you out of prison. What gets you back? Low self-esteem, low self-confidence, feeling like you don't have a way, feeling like you don't have hope. And what do they that's what they want you to feel, dude. They leave you with no skills. They say that every single inmate's offered vocational arts. Like there's not a fucking there's not a vocs class in the max. There used to be the chair shop, right? They had the wood shop down there, right? Okay, what's up, bro? How you doing? Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. And everybody in the chat, man, I appreciate everybody here. Bry Guy, Ant, how you doing, Ant? It's been a little while. Bats. Oh, I got something to share about something because one of my videos, right? There's a man in the max right now, right? His name is Kicker. Throw a hashtag free kicker in every video if you can, right? Because they just ran down on him this morning. The Ips kicked his door in it, or not, you don't have to kick the door, and they slide it open and they bundle you because he spoke on my show from the phone, right? So because he spoke about what his experience has been in the max on the phone to my channel, reaching to media, that's what you do. The media is free media. We have a right to free speech. You can say anything you want in this country, allegedly, right? Apparently you can't. Not even the little things. I can see the racist slurs, whatever, things like that. But like not being able to speak on a show about your experience in prison, that's ridiculous to me, right? They booted this dude's door in and threw him in the hole during the holidays because he spoke on my show. Yes, free kicker. Free kicker is the fucking word of the day, dude, right? I feel terrible because it's like my show. He came on my show, and now because of that, he's in the hole for the holidays. I feel terrible. It's like it's almost my fault, but like I didn't see that coming. Who could have seen that coming? Like maybe I could have seen like maybe them hassling him or fucking with him some, you know what I mean? But like grabbing him out of population and throwing him in the box for that doesn't seem right to me. And especially for the fact that he really didn't say anything outward. Oh, he predicted something crazy too, right? When he was on my show, he said, this was before the stabbing of the CO, right? He said, mark my words, there's going to be bodies coming out of this joint in the next year if they don't change the way they do things. Imagine that, right? Maybe if they listen to people when they speak what the conditions are causing these convicts inside the prison, then they would hear some truth that they need desperately to listen to, because like they write off everything we say as lies, convict behavior, a way to manipulate, a way to get over on them. They tell every single CO that comes into that building, everything that they tell you, everything they try to get from you, even if they just ask you for a roll of toilet paper, there's something behind it. Don't trust it. So that these dudes come in and their number one, they think and they see you and they automatically associate with, this dude's trying to get over on me somehow. Every little thing. So when they first get in there, you notice that they're like, oh, I don't know, I gotta ask my my partner. And then you ask him for a roll of toilet paper, like, I don't know, I gotta they always looking towards the bubble and shit, right? And it's like, dude, give me a break, bro. You can give me a roll of toilet paper, dude, right? But yeah. Fox News. I mean, if Fox is willing to put it out, shit, why not? I mean, that's a big step up from my show. But I feel like this, right? I'm doing what I can, right? Every opportunity I have, I try to learn or teach. And somebody even said that to me tonight, and that's why I'm saying it, because like I really do. I'm trying to improve my life in every fucking way I can do, right? And the only way I do that is through God, bro, right? I rely on God. Every single thing that happens in my life, right? It all seems so like perfectly set up for me to learn exactly what I need to learn as I go. Even the worst mistakes and the worst type of pain, like the struggle, dude, right? All these things are set up to fucking bring me to where I need to go, to teach me what I need to be taught in order to be, have the strength and the wisdom and the understanding, like things that I need in order to survive and get through and not go back to prison, but also because I feel like I have some type of mission, bro, for real. And I'm not saying that in some psychotic fucking like, I think like I'm like chosen by God. Like, no, that's not it at all. I just think that there's some type of greater purpose to this channel and what we're doing here. And everybody who comes, everybody who looks out, everybody who supports, they're supporting something bigger than us. You know what I mean? And I just think that that's really important to understand. Um, and I hope that, I hope people can get behind it, because I see people going on. They come on here, they do lives, they just sit here, they'll be sitting here talking about absolutely nothing, dude. And people eat it up, dude. There'll be thousands of people on there just like, sending them fucking super chats and super thanks for no fucking reason other than they're doing things. They're out there, and like, you put that in the chat and everybody sees it, whatever. But like, I feel like it's more important to do that for channels like mine, things that people that are actually putting their fucking neck out and, putting the work in, trying to make something happen for dudes like us. You know what I mean? Like, this is about us supporting the truth, the fact. So I had a goal tonight for my show, for this show, and that was to get on. That was to get, it's the goals right here. And honestly, that's something that you guys can do or not do. That's neither here nor there. I don't, that's not like something that's not like prerequisite to coming on here. Like, I just want to chill and have fun. This is what I enjoy doing. I'm not doing this for views. I'm not doing this for money. I didn't start this for money or anything. I started this to bring the word of God to people that didn't have it, and hope to people who didn't have it, and strength, and a role model, something that somebody could look to and say, this motherfucker's been through the craziest fucking shit, bro. His life, he's like living just like me, bro. I don't have extra special talent. I'm just doing what I need to do, bro. I'm putting in that extra work, the extra effort, and I'm trying as hard as I can. And that's something that can be respected. And I don't expect any pat on the back for it. It's kind of like doing what you're supposed to do in the joint. Like, you just do what you're supposed to do, bro. You don't expect a pat on the back for being a solid dude, bro. You're just a solid dude because that's what you are, bro. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need a pat on the back for being solid on here. I don't need a pat on the back for none of that. But if you do support the channel, that is it's much appreciated, bro. And anybody who tosses something in there, they can throw. I said tonight, and I'm gonna stand on it. If whoever's got the biggest super chat, they can pick whatever video they want to hear from me. Anything that you want to hear about my story or information, like wisdom that I had that I could give you. Any questions you want to know from me, anything, right? You put it in there and I'm gonna make it. And that's for you. Word. That's what I said, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's what you do. You stand on your word, bro. But yeah. What's up, Bronx Child, bro? How you doing tonight? Fact. Hey, what about that video about Chase Sosa here? That shit's blowing up right now. In the last hour, there's been more than 500 people that watched that video. Yeah. Right? The next one didn't do as great, but that shit's blowing right now, dude. Right? And it's monetized too, so it should be decent. I hope it goes viral, bro. That's what I need, bro. People to share and support. That's all you got to do. Share, hit the like button. It's free. If you haven't hit the like button already, please do that right now. If anybody's got any type of okay, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Yeah, yo, he is crazy, bro. And the few times that I've bumped into him, I've kind of been like, this is the dude they're talking about, because like they have him up there and he has lost his damn marbles, bro. Like, he's gone. he's not all the way gone because now that they moved him out of there and they put him now where he is, he's in a DDU wing in the max called the STP. It's for people that have so-called serious mental illnesses or SMI. They call them SMI inmates, whatever, right? And that, you know, you could go up there, you could have anxiety disorders now, you know, depression, whatever it is, bro. If it's on the books, you go up there. They don't put you in the whole, I mean, they don't put you in DDU, but it's DDU, which is you got more out of the cell time and shit like that. So he's able to go up there, and I'm sure he's on like Eddie Ramirez status and oh, that's a good video. Latino Heat. Everybody's heard of this dude. I think I'm gonna make that video. Fact. Eddie Ramirez, bro. That's coming out. Look for that shit. Hell yeah. They can do whole time, but they don't want them to do whole time. But what happened is when they changed that law around and made it so that the SMI convicts can't do more than 30 days. I mean, sorry, anybody with an SMI, anybody with a mental illness at all, anxiety, depression, when they widened the scope of what an SMI is considered in the max or in prison in Massachusetts, what it did was it made it harder for the people that need it to actually get to the places that need to be, because now it's flooded with people and they have huge lines going to these units where, you know, people that really need them can't get to them because they got all these other people going that don't even need it. So it kind of fucks it up. Like you think like, oh, this is what you need. This is what the you know, we need as people, like convicts is a big win, but it fucks it up, bro. But yeah. What up, Big Cuba? How you doing tonight, bro? Hope everything's good on that front. Just in here talking about, you know, the cops, their salaries, the way it spider webs and all the things it affects inside the prison, and, you know, just other things about the joint that come to mind as I go, because there's so many different fucking things. And I'm talking about, yo, I'm going to make a video about Eddie Ramirez, bro, the Latino Heat. Keep an eye on that. It's a fucking sick fucking video, dude. Watch. You're going to be like, what the this dude is nuts, dude, right? But yeah, hey, Lynn Valou, what's up, man? I don't know if are you a woman or a man? Because I'm just wondering, because I don't know. But I appreciate all the support this week. The comments, that helps my videos thrive. I mean, people see these comments, they know that there's something good in them. They want to watch them because, you know, why would someone support it like that? Because it's obviously worth supporting. So that's all. You know what I mean? I appreciate everything, Lynn. Anybody who does, I appreciate all the support. Fact. I mean, this is nothing. I can't do this without you. I can't. This is a community, bro. Lynn Marie, okay. So this is a community, and I feel like we come in here, we're in the chat, we see the same people a lot. You know what I mean? We're all together. We always talk to each other. We're always in the same, you know, watching our videos together, you know, talking in the chat to each other. Like, this is the community, dude. We're building something that people can, you know, even though we don't know each other all face to face like that, we all have a connection of some sort. You know what I mean? We have a connection through this movement, bro, through this channel. And this is, and the way I want to explain this is that it's not just a channel for videos, stories, and the messages about prison. This is a way for the public to get a sense of what is really going on inside of Massachusetts prisons in order for them to make informed decisions on election day. You know what I mean? Who they should elect, who's trying to, you know, push the wrong agenda, and why. Ask questions, man. That's the biggest thing. Ask fucking questions. Like we just automatically take their word for it all the fucking time. And it's just, it's old now, man. It's getting old, bro. Like you can only lie to the public for so fucking long before people are like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Everything that they say is total bullshit. And it's like, now that I've read this and I know why they support the Correctional Officers Union so solidly, it makes me pissed off because they buy the election. And on the flip side, they're getting tons of funds to do that. Like, why are they getting all this money and nothing's happening for us? And they give perks to the correctional officers union. They change whatever they want them to change inside of there. They stir up and foment public opinion about us, so they control the narrative. And now they're controlling the narrative to push a false agenda, bro. To make the public believe that everybody in there is a savage, that we just have no heart, we have no soul. You could walk in there and meet the best people on the planet. You could walk in there, any person could walk into that prison. And if you don't mess with other motherfuckers, no one's gonna mess with you, right? If you're a good person, you'd be a good person right there in that prison, bro. People are good people in there. We're not savages. We don't have uncontrollable anger and we just fly off the handle. And every time there's a fight, it's a giant brawl and the whole block fights. It's not like that, dude. It's not the movies, dude. Like, we're human beings and we have legitimate fucking concerns about what's going on. You cannot torture people and expect to keep on doing it, because it is like a third world country in there sometimes. And I'm not fucking playing. During double bunking, during this last situation with the not the last one, but when I was in there, when the after the thing happened with my brother with the COs, and then the big thing on N1 where the Spanish dudes jumped on Fuller and those other cops, right? Then when they flipped the joint over on that shit, when I came downstairs I was coming from the STP to go to medical and coming back, and I was in the elevator. And I was getting off the elevator and I seen, right? This is stuck in my head forever. This dude was walking down the fucking center of the main corridor with one of these like guns slinged across his shoulder, like, you know, hung over his shoulder and just, you know, hanging down like that. And the biggest fucking shit-eating grin on his face, like it's fucking great. Everything's great. While every camera in the facility is turned off. And people are on their knees in the visiting room, on their knees in the gym, getting their jaws broken, bitten by dogs, electrocuted, and beat up for no fucking reason. All over the place. Thank you, Big Cuba. Thank you, brother. Fact, bro. So while people get beat up all over that facility, dude, and he's got a giant smile on his face like it's the best thing that ever happened since sliced fucking meat, dude. Like, why are you so happy to be doing this, bro? That is untrustworthy right there. I will, Cuba. I will. This is a mission. When I sat in my cell in DDU and I was going through it, bro, right? You know, once you start fighting with them, it's just a nonstop battle, you know, and it could start over the dumbest shit, bro, but it doesn't fucking matter because once it starts, it's just on. I'm not backing down. They're not backing down. I'm going to get what I want, or I'm not stopping. And so eventually I get what I want, but it takes a lot of pain and suffering to do that. You know what I mean? So I forced it for a long fucking time. And why is this dude calling right now? So I forced it for a long time. If you're watching, Sully, I can't pick up the phone right now. Sully, if you're watching, I can't pick up the phone. So Dave, I forced it for a long time. And what I was thinking in my head was, I'm going to get these dudes back. I am not going to let this shit go unpunished, dude. I have to do something about it, dude. So in order for me to do that, I started filing lawsuits and shit, right? Let me answer this because it's going great. Yo, Sully, I'm on a live right now, and I just don't want to keep on calling, but I didn't see it until now. My bad. You want to say what's up to the live? All right. All right. I'll call you back, or I'll text you after this is done. All right, bro. All right. I love you too, bro. Yeah. So I swore that I was gonna do something, bro. I had to do something. And I knew that I had to do something, that I couldn't just walk out of here and forget everything that happened. There's no way. What I've seen, what I've experienced is something that no fucking human being should ever have to experience or see. Did I cause a lot of it to myself? Maybe. But was I put in a position to become a person that I didn't need to become just so that they can get meet the public's expectations of how much time I should get? I protected my damn family. I protected my brother, and I did what I thought was right for my family. I hurt people, but at the same time, thank you, Bobby, bro. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you, bro. At the same time, I felt like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done all that, but I did what I felt like I needed to do, and I don't think it deserved prison time. I'm not gonna lie. I went overboard. I almost killed these two people, bro. I beat them really badly, and I'm taking full responsibility for that. And I've never not. But and I couldn't tell them when I go to court, like, oh, they did this or they did that, because that's just not, I can't do that. I'm not them. You know what I mean? So I have to take the full brunt of this situation without giving them the truth, because they want to lie and, tell them that we did this. Not, they want to tell on us, but they don't want to tell on themselves, though, right? So they're lying and telling them, oh, we just ran in the house. Like, yeah, they're just two upstanding citizens and just weren't smoking crack or whatever the fuck they were doing in there. But yeah, we just ran in their house for no fucking reason. But I think that what we should do as a community and as a society, because there's no reasonable expectation for this prison whatever experiment to work, it's not working. And you're not going to care until one of these people get out after being in prison for so long and going through these things and having no type of rehabilitation, but instead the opposite. They become someone that has a heightened tolerance to violence, a heightened, like, they're paranoid. Maybe they're like, I know when I come out of DDU, right? This is how I'm gonna kind of equate it, right? When I come out of DDU, I come into population, and now I'm around all these people. I've just been alone, and the only thing I've done for the past 5 years or however long I was in the hole for was talk out the door through a crack in the door, right? So now I'm seeing people face to face. I don't know how to make my face, like my facial expressions, I feel so awkward. I'm drinking too much coffee that I haven't had in so long. So now I'm fucking like boosted. I'm paranoid because there's so many people around, and I can't sleep because I have a cellmate. I have all these things going on, all these different factors, and you feel so fucking out of place, dude, right? And then after a certain amount of time, you yearn for the comfort of that routine that you have in DDU. The comfiness of that routine. The routine is what you fiend for. I love the routine because it's just like the days fly by, and just like, I don't know, it just honestly just becomes something after you're there for so long. That's when it starts being like that. It's not like that until you are there for that long. And then once you're like, oh yeah, DDU doesn't sound that bad right now. You know what I mean? After being in population for a while, and you're like, man, I could use a change in pace. That's what we call it, like a little change of pace, right? So why not go to DDU for a little bit? But little we know that every single time we spend years in the box, it's damaging our brain and our ability to tolerate society, our ability to tolerate the people around us, and our ability to function, even in a population unit in prison, bro. Right? Yeah, DDU's closed, but they got other options now. I mean, the SDP, you're waiting in the hole without a TV to go to the SDP or the BMU, which is like, there's only 9 cells in the BMU, and there's 16 cells in the SDP. And maybe at any given time, there's at least 100 people waiting to go to these places, right? Yeah, change of scenery. Yeah. But all these people waiting have to wait somewhere, and it's not going to be in population. So they're going to wait in the box with the same shit that you get in the hole, rather than going to DDU where you get all that stuff. Like you get your TV and all those things that you have, like kind of like, little comforts that kind of make being in a cell for 23 hours a day, every day for however many years, a little bit more bearable than being in the hole. You have nothing. You don't have your TV. The tears loud. There's not as much respect in it. It's just many different things, bro. All these things affect you as a person. And when you get out, okay, If you want, I'll make a video explaining that. I don't want to put too many people like on blast, but I think that they wouldn't mind. I know they wouldn't mind. It's like that shit was glorious, bro. I know the whole story behind it. I was supposed to be in it that day. That morning, I got lugged the night before this happened for a batch. I went out to play football and then fucking came in and got lugged for a batch. And then that next morning is when that all popped off. There's a few different things I want to make videos about. Latino Heat. I'll make one about that. And it's a couple other things I'm gonna keep in the cuff right now. But I have to go. The studio's closing, and it's time for me to go. I appreciate everybody who showed up tonight. Big Kuba with the $10, Bobby with the $1, bro. Every little bit counts, man. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. I love you. Every little bit of support matters, bro. Even just the thumbs up on the video, bro. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. You know, the heart, the 100, whatever it is. And we got this, bro. We got this covered. I love you guys. W number out.